am not pathetic, and I will not be intimidated.
Hey guys, we're here at the locker room. We're going to talk about John Laurinaitis as he recently has been dropped from this whole suit with Janel Grant and how he's going to have to give up Vince McMahon in order to clear his name. Let's talk more about it at the locker room at Toss Ring Scandal, a.k.a. KDH.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
Hey guys, we're here at the locker room, Toss Ring Scandal, aka KDH here, Turnbuckle King in the building. We will talk about why John Laurinaitis dropped from suit will bury Vince McMahon. Let's get the likes of this. We come to the locker room. You already know we about to air some dirty laundry on this one. Now, recently it says that with this suit here, it's a stipulation of dismissal with prejudice. Basically, in short, John Laurinaitis is no longer a part of this suit. He has been dropped from the whole thing. However, he's going to have to do something in order to be dropped from the suit, and that means dropping names and dropping information. And that will have to be John Laurinaitis dropping information on Vince McMahon and whatever evidence that he has or he has known about in order to clear his name. But, you know, John Laurinaitis, it's been back and forth with him, but that's what they've been saying here, and it's pretty much John Laurinaitis is going to give whatever information on Vince he can. It says he's agreed to cooperate and provide evidence in Janel Grant's lawsuit against Vince McMahon and WWE. The statement to Post Wrestling reads, his agreement to a confidential settlement is a pivotal next step towards holding McMahon and WWE accountable and bringing justice to Janel Grant after years of you-know-what. And it said that he would want to move forward with his life. And this is a whole thing out of another, because John Laurinaitis, he is trying to do whatever he can to get his name back in the fold. And he's want to continue his whole life. But they talk more about the whole situation.
Hey, I'm Scott Johnson, host of Going Ringside. We have some breaking news from United States Federal Court regarding the Vince McMahon case. John Laurinaitis, known as Johnny Ace in wrestling circles, has been dropped from the lawsuit. He is Vince McMahon's old right-hand man back in their WWE days. Of course, we have covered this a lot. So Laurinaitis was originally sued, and part of this scandalous former WWE employee Janel Grant against Vince McMahon and to an extent WWE. New federal documents are out showing that Laurinaitis has been dropped from the lawsuit. He is no longer has legal problems, but he's dropped with prejudice, is what the proceedings say. But this is important. Now, Janel Grant's spokespeople are saying that he is willing, is part of this agreement to be dropped from this case, to turn evidence against Vince McMahon. That could be earth-shattering. We will have to see what happens, but a major development from federal.
This is information from Vince McMahon's lawyer. Today's dismissal of John Laurinaitis as a defendant doesn't alter the facts in case any way. Vince McMahon never mistreated Janel Grant. No matter how many press releases her team issues, the truth remains unchanged. As Mr. Laurinaitis' lawyer previously said, Mr. Laurinaitis corroborates Mr. McMahon and public defendant Mrs. Grant's allegation, you know what, are unfounded. So this is the attorney for Vince McMahon. She spoke on this whole thing, basically saying that nothing has changed. Vince McMahon did not do these things that were said of him a while back now. But John Laurinaitis, he's a rat. He's straight up a rat. He's a rat, snake, whatever you think it is. And it's crazy because John Laurinaitis, as the man stated in that clip there, that he was the right-hand man of Vince McMahon for all these years. So all the stuff Vince allegedly was doing, John Laurinaitis, not only you sat there and watched it, you enjoyed and had your fun too, allegedly. So now, when things get tough for John Laurinaitis, because we gotta remember, John Laurinaitis not only is gone from WWE, he recently was divorced from his wife, Kathy Colas, who was the mother of the Bella twins, real names known as Nikki and Brie Garcia. So he got divorced, his wife left him, everything. So John Laurinaitis pretty much has nothing but only his name to stand on at this point. And I'm telling you, John Laurinaitis, the evidence that he has, he is going to be singing like a canary bird. He's going to be doing everything he can to put Vince down and everything to bring himself back up. But trust me, his reputation is damaged. It will never, never, ever be the same again, in the words of Chris Jericho, because, I mean, who would want to deal with John Laurinaitis after all this stuff that's happened? Even though he clears his name and everything, he's willing to drop dime. And it's crazy because if you guys remember back in 2023, he first said he was a victim. Then he said that he's aligning himself with Vince McMahon to work against Janel Grant, and he will stay on Vince's side. It's like, John Laurinaitis, what side are you on? First you say you were a victim, then you work with Vince McMahon to work against Janel Grant in these charges, and now you have again fallen back again and saying that you want to be dropped from the suit and you're willing to give up any information that you have against Vince McMahon and WWE. Like, dude, make up your mind what you going to do. But Vince McMahon, this is not a good look for you because everybody do not want to be associated with you. Like, nobody wants to be on your side. And this is bad for Vince. I mean, I know that he, paid the money back, and that's the last thing we heard from the stuff that happened to the company with the hush money and all that. But that's just the very brunt of it. And I stated that in other videos in the past, that this was far, far, far from over. But it looked like it was headed towards the right direction at the time. But I'm telling you, the way John Laurinaitis is moving, Vince McMahon, it's a possibility you could end up being arrested by the police or feds or whoever the case may be. We could see Vince in cuffs. He could be arrested and maybe even do some time for this whole thing, because when we think that Vince McMahon's in the clear, we don't hear anything, then news like this pops up. And Janel Grant has been stating that she wants to continue on with this case, because remember, it was on pause for about 6 months, and it recently just wants to get that going. But this is not good for Vince McMahon. I have to say, I don't know what's going to happen, because Vince, you are getting up in age now. You about 78, 79, close to 80 years old, however old you are. You don't have time to be taking no mug shots. You don't have no time to be doing the fingerprint and all this stuff at this particular age in your life. I mean, I know he just had that spinal surgery. He was walking with a cane for a while. We first started seeing him in the public at the Super Bowl this year, but you don't have time for this, Vince. You need to enjoy the rest of your life of what's left of it, because let's be honest, God forbid anything happen to Vince, he gonna spend pretty much the rest of his life in prison. I mean, Vince, I would say he gonna live much longer. He is up in age. I don't want nothing to happen to him, even the hateful fans. I know they say, oh, with Vince with DIE and all that. No, let's be honest. Vince McMahon is close to 80 years old. I give him roughly 15, 20 years left, depending on how his health is. So you just don't want to enjoy the rest of what's left of your golden years behind prison bars. That's all I'm saying. And the evidence that's have against him is not looking too good. I mean, this man may not see daylight ever again. And let's also not forget Mr. Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar. We don't even know if he's going to give up information on Vince McMahon too, because remember, he was stated in the original suit that a former UFC fighter champion was, offered Janel Grant allegedly to resign with WWE. Now, Brock Lesnar not completely clear in this whole situation. I'm thinking, this is a thought, a observation, to say, if you will. They may say, Brock, let's give information on Vince McMahon as well. And if they do, his name won't be tied to this anymore either. I mean, John Laurinaitis is already squealing. He already dropped it down. So I could say Brock Lesnar will do the same. He will follow suit. Because, Brock Lesnar, this did not make him look good either. Now, I know Brock Lesnar's not in WWE right now. He's not in there at all. He's not under contract or nothing. But I'm just saying, reputation is everything. Not just for Vince McMahon, but for John Laurinaitis and for Brock Lesnar as well. But we have to see what's going to happen next with this whole suit. And that's all I have for why John Laurinaitis dropped suit may even hurt Vince McMahon. You guys let me know what you think of this whole situation. Is Vince done, or does he have a shot to rise once again? Check out the video for Toxic Ring Scandal, aka KDH, below. Until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.